Restoration is brought to you by
High Sense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Yes, extra long sanitary pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
Adonko hand sanitizer. Sure odo. Nebo home buy.
New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts.
Hello everyone, this is Restoration with Stacy and we are brought to you by Kind Courtesy, Yas Washing Powder and Yas Sanitary Pad, Hooch Corn and Choco Flakes, High Sense, everyday prices for everyday people, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. I'm saying a very big thank you to Adonko Original Hand Sanitizer and Adonko Nest Level. I would also want to say a very big thank you to Aseda Fabric for my beautiful fabric. You can locate them at the Makola Shopping Mall, opposite the Methodist Book Depot, and it has been beautifully sewn by ABS Lux Line. Ophelia, thank you very much and your team for always ensuring I look very good on this show. Very big thank you to Divine Cassie for my makeup, and my hair today is by Harry's Professional Hair Studio located at Fadama.
Remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month? Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes, comfort. I got yes, confidence. I got yes.
The new Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi, is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got yes, confidence. I got
Yes.
we got yes, protection. I got
Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad for extra comfort.
we got yes, protection.
Hello, your friend Jackie. So we will be a winning on who are the jet to Semia and Pimpino. You to me 5 gems if you get a dear you need Brucia, your fans, any and down for any. Nanso, what bet to me about home by? Use Adonko hand sanitizer, debia, any bribia. Every say you to me 5 gems if you near my yesa is so. Adonko hand sanitizer, bet to me about home by debia, free gems, bacteria, you need in home. Adonko hand sanitizer, sure or dog. Nebo home by
FD Ashwisha said Jadian Kratoimu Adia Tumse. Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family because every smile matters. New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts in an antibacterial toothpaste for strong teeth and healthy gums that protects your family and you. Every smile matters.
See, you gotta have a smile, no matter what it takes. Then you gotta take perk down, love the way it tastes. feel the perky buzz from your toes to your face. You gotta take perk now, perky it today. Say oh, 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 oh. You gotta take perk now, perky it today. Say oh, 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 oh. You gotta take
Perk up anywhere, even at home, with the rich milky taste of Peck biscuits. This advert is FDA approved.
Wake up! We have just 50 minutes to set off.
Let's go.
We want jollof for school.
Shower time.
I'll make jollof.
Jollof? We have 45 minutes. What about the cutting, chopping, blending?
Tasty Tom Jollof Mix has all the ingredients to make jollof already mixed in the pack.
Is it going to taste the same?
So you say pa.
And if a jollof no hooking me.
Pour oil. Add 1 pack of 210 grams Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. Fry for 10 minutes. Add water, some cube, and salt. Add rice. In 45 minutes. Sharp. Let jollof now bing. Right on time.
Delicious jollof and in 45 minutes?
How?
Easy cry. Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. Delicious jollof. Sharp. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. A very big thank you going out to my production company, M-Clan Media Production, and my official photographer, Brian Phil Studio. Over the years, we have all had the dream to achieve something in our lives. We've all had a purpose to be bigger and better than what we used to be years back. My guest today is a young woman who has defied all odds and has ensured that she remains relevant in this industry. My guest today is Stacy, yes, my namesake, Stacy Mawuse Afo. Stacy.
Hello, name.
How are you? I remember the first day we met, right? She came and she introduced herself. I looked at her, I said, you're Stacy. She said, yes. I said, well, I'm the original. You're the fake. How are you? It's good to have you here.
Good to have you.
And you're looking so good.
Thank you.
Wow. So let's get to talking. So for those of you who are just seeing Stacy for the first time, she is an amazing actress, and I mean it. It runs in the Stacy blood. Eh? She's been doing very well in the industry, and I've watched you. I've seen your journey to the top, and I should say I am proud of you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
But I think I'm still about to get to the top.
You will get there. You know, the thing is, nobody really gets to the top. It's work in progress. It's a journey. Anybody who tells you they are at the top is a big joke.
Right.
Because the top is really the pinnacle of it. And it's work in progress. We journey on, but we don't really get there.
Indeed.
Yeah. So don't be stressed with that. I want to get to the top.
Okay.
We journey on to the top. And it's like every achievement that you clock on the way, for me, is the top.
Right.
Every success is the top. So we should not be giving ourselves standards and saying, I want to be at the top. Who have you seen standing at the top somewhere? It's all in your work. It's all in your achievement. So that is where the focus should be. And I think you've not done bad for yourself.
Thank you.
And you should be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Yay. So let's get talking acting. How did acting come in?
I started acting from the church at the age, I could say 9. Yeah, because I remember the first acting that I did, I played a male, a gongong beater.
Whoa.
Because the church that I was in, the boys, you know, me that are buying things, so they didn't want
Nobody
to.
wanted to be a gongong beater.
So I said I will play the role, and then that was how it started. Because I had fans, you know, when I finished the drama, I was getting gifts here and there. I'm like, Then at age 13, I went to Children's Own, if you remember, GTV.
Yeah, GTV.
Yes, so then it started. Then I went to school. 2003, I came back to the professionally, not drama this time. So, I mean, from 2003, we became, how should I say it? Audition superstars.
Okay.
Because my first actual role was 2005 in Yes Matron.
Oh, okay.
I got some nursing role, and then it began. Then I went for Ghana Movie Star in 2008, and then I did my first movie, feature movie. That is The Bible Torn Apart. That was my first feature movie, The Bible Torn Apart. And then the journey started to Master in 3 Mays, Office Palava, Trending Crimes, and many others. Freetown. I think I did 3. I've done 3 international projects.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you see why I'm proud of you. So you started from the church,
yes.
Meaning that you're from a very religious background.
Yes, I would say that.
How was growing up for you?
Hi, roller coaster. Anyway, I was raised by a single mom, you know, and growing up, I always say this whenever I go for interviews. I'm like, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. It's more like a broken plastic spoon. And then I'm building my own golden spoon now.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, so I'm on the journey. So growing up hasn't been fanfare for me. It's been tough. And so that's how I've become the strong man that I am, and I still keep on fighting. Yeah, so growing up wasn't an easy one.
So with a single mom, I know single mothers raising children is always difficult.
Indeed.
How difficult was your situation that made it a roller coaster?
You know, like, wherever we slept was home. You know, stuff for my mom, like that. So, but I was the type, I don't know how God made me. I saw the bigger picture every time. We didn't have our own TV sets. We didn't have any, you know, like, so I'm always somewhere watching TV. I can't even sleep in somebody's house because I want to watch TV, Cartoon Networks. So that's how tough it was. And as a single mother, I think this is a conversation. I wouldn't like to go deep into single parenting, but this is a conversation we've not had. Like, a lot of mothers are dealing with depression, especially single mothers. And I always say, when I post stuff, I always say, bitter mothers are raising kids, and it's about time society heal, both the men and women, because you can't bring kids into this world and they will be with a mother who is broken. Let me use that word.
And eventually becomes bitter.
Yeah. I mean, bitter. And so you are raised with bitterness because there was no love and all that. And so we have to come out of that to become who we are. And then now understand the situation. So if probably you follow me or read my text, most of the time I'm about preaching sexual soul ties and all those things. Some people think I'm mad. Some people think you don't know what you're talking about. Some people will be like, well, you were a virgin before you got married and all that. But they don't understand. We are not dealing with situations from the root cause. As being someone coming from a single mom, it's not being funny, especially when he's dealing with a lot. And you have to grow up fast. Sometimes you even have to
older
mother
than your age and mother your mother.
Yeah. So these are some of the challenges.
Where was your father throughout this time?
My mom said he was in the US. So,
did you get to meet him?
The first time I saw my dad, I was 17.
Oh.
Yes, it was the first time I saw my dad.
And how was the feeling? You know, when you've yearned for that fatherly figure, when you're hopeful that, okay, daddy's going to come and rescue me and I'm going to be that daddy's little girl. And it finally happens. What was the reaction for you?
I mean, I remember the day I went to mom's shop around Tema, somewhere in Tema Comtinai. And then they said a man came around and he says he's my father. And I'm like, okay, my dad?
Just like that.
And I said, my dad? And, you know, I was looking forward to seeing my dad. And then here it was, but it wasn't as I expected. You know, I forgave him. I tried to understand why he left us and all that. He explained, he said sorry. But along the line, we fell off again. You know, and you see, most of the time when we're talking about fatherhood, and then people will be like, oh, people don't understand the emotional things you go through, and to the extent that it can make you look for father figure even when you're going for a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So
looking for love at the wrong place.
Yes. So you go looking for love at the wrong places, and then maybe sometimes the guy might not understand why you are latching on him like that, or like being on him, say, minyo papa wo. You know, but it's there. It's like it's an inner thing.
You're looking for
you
that.
You yearn for it. No matter how old you get, it's there. So constantly, I was looking for that father figure in my relationships, and it wasn't funny because some of the guys won't take it.
Yeah, because minyo papa.
Yeah. Yeah, and so these are some of the challenges that you deal with growing up without a dad.
When you met him, and he apologized that he went back and went off again, were you heartbroken?
Yes. I was very heartbroken. With the second, I was so heartbroken. I haven't spoken to my dad for about 7 years. To the extent that when I was getting married, I didn't even invite him.
You're joking?
I'm not. And so my husband thought, oh no, like it's about time I let that side. So just recently we spoke. And I told my half-sister the reason why I didn't want to get, because I didn't want my heart broken like the way it was broken. So I didn't want any emotional. But I think I've now, after doing the forgiveness with him again, I've not met him after 7 years, but we've spoken on phone and all that. So I'm looking forward for a wonderful reunion soon.
And you know, we have a culture where parents do not communicate.
Right.
And I don't know your dad, but I'm just trying to think he might have a good reason for being away. With our culture, parents don't communicate. They believe, oh yeah, cry. So there are certain things that they can actually sit you down and have conversations. They don't.
No.
And they expect that you should understand because usa. But I think as we grow, parents should learn to know that our children grow. They don't remain babies forever. They are not toddlers forever. They have emotional needs.
Right.
And so we should be able to have that bond with our children, especially when they've not been around. Because sometimes they just want to have a bed of roses. They just want to come and it happens like that. But it doesn't, because you are broken emotionally.
Yeah.
And he's not expecting you to heal miraculously. It's going to take time. He's now going to have to kind of date you to get that love back. It's not easy. I know where you're coming from because I've been through it. It's not easy, and it's not like you don't care, but you're just guarding yourself because you don't want to let yourself lose so that it happens again. Like,
I mean, the second time it really broke me. It broke me in ways that I think my mother didn't even understand. Like, Ubia feels like I should just let it go.
It broke you because you had expectations.
Yes.
You had expectations.
Yes.
You had plans. And I'm sure even at that time you dogged your mother small.
You know what? Like, you're saying something that parents should know. Parenting it's what we are facing now in every aspect of our lives as a people, as a society, as a nation, is because the home front is broken. And then most parents are not, for instance, many parents come from the tree where we are crab or near. And so they leave it there. And then this child... And then we keep these things, you and I know, it builds in you.
Yeah.
And so when you grow up, some people, it's so very difficult for them to say sorry. Like, because they didn't grow up from that tree. And so it's about time we change the narrative. We, the parents who are coming up, like, we need to understand, even if you impregnate a woman and you don't want to have anything to do with a woman, play a role in the child's life. Many men are not able to be responsible because they grew up with single mothers. And if you're growing up with a single mother and you are a man and you see your mother doing it all by yourself, or by herself, you will also think it's okay for another woman to do it all by herself if you don't get the U-turn in your thinking pattern. So you didn't see any man showing you how to be a man. And many mothers have raised, so that's many, they ask, oh, why is that men of these days, they are not responsible? I mean, her mother was able to be single, and we have a lot of single mothers there like that. And so, no matter what happens, even if so no crampoa, there are certain emotional and stuff that only a man can teach a man. But if a man doesn't see a man doing it, and it's okay. Yeah. So when he also impregnates someone, he can choose to
my mom was able to go through it. What makes you different?
You know, and these are some of the dialogues my husband and I have, because my husband too is an only child, just like me, and was raised by a single mother.
Wow.
And there are the challenges. We see it, we talk about it, and then we move on. You know, so society must look at parenting, because when the home front is broken, society will be broken.
And things will just fall apart.
And that's what we are experiencing.
So with that background going into acting, did you have any support from home?
Stacy, I've never had support. Everything you have seen, even my mother doesn't think acting is fetching, you know. So I've not really had support when it comes to my career. I'm the one who have pulled myself through my career, and really no support from nobody. It's me. I've held myself, like, it takes a lot of mental strength to do that. You know, it's not an easy life. I've had a very tough life, but I'm not the type who gives up. I remember one time I was asked, is there any time in my journey that I have given up? And I'm like, giving up, it's not part of the vocabulary, but I get tired. You know, I get tired, but I rest and then I pick myself up. Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, being an only child, I've made a lot of friends. And that department of friendship, I've not been lucky. So now I go solo. I've not been lucky, because, you know, I'm looking for siblings. I mean, like, my life has been...
Try to find love everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm sure most of you can relate to that, finding love everywhere because you are solo. But sometimes it's just ideal to go solo. We'll be right back after this break.
The days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month. Ya's extra long sanitary pad took the worry away easy.
Ya's comfort, I got Ya's confidence, I got Ya's.
The new Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi. Is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got Ya's confidence, I got
Yes.
We got Yas protection. I got
Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad for extra comfort.
We got Yas protection.
Hello, your friend Jackie. So we will be a winning on who are the jet to semia and pimpino. You to me 5 gems if in Kitadia, you need your brucia, your fans, any and down for any. Nanso, what bet to me about home by using a Donko hand sanitizer, debia, any bribia. Every say you to me 5 gems if in Yama Yasa is so. A Donko hand sanitizer, bet to me about home by debia, free gems, bacteria, you need in home. A Donko hand sanitizer, sure or dog.
FD Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family because every smile matters. New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts in an antibacterial toothpaste for strong teeth and healthy gums that protects your family and you. Every smile matters.
See, you gotta have a smile, no matter what it takes. Then you gotta take perk down, love the way it tastes. Feel the perky buzz from your toes to your face. You gotta take perk down, perky it today. Say oh, 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 oh. You gotta take perk down, perky it today. Say oh, 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 oh. You gotta take
Perk up anywhere, even at home, with a rich milky taste of Peck biscuits. This advert is FDA approved.
Wake up! We have just 50 minutes to set off.
Let's go.
We want jollof for school.
Shower time.
I'll make jollof.
Jollof? We have 45 minutes. What about the cutting, chopping, blending?
Tasty Tom Jollof Mix has all the ingredients to make jollof already mixed in the pack.
Is it going to taste the same?
So you say pa.
And if a jollof no hooking me.
Pour oil. Add 1 pack of 210 grams Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. Fry for 10 minutes. Add water, some cube, and salt. Add rice. In 45 minutes. Sharp. Let jollof now bing. Right on time.
Delicious jollof and in 45 minutes?
Wow!
Easy cry. Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. Delicious jollof. Sharp. This advert is FDA approved.
Okay, so whilst doing this amazing work at Nima, I received this beautiful bouquet from my lovely sister Becca. So she said, episode. Sweetheart, how are you?
Hi, thank you.
What's your name?
I'm
Faustina. So tell me, what do you like about restoration?
It's mostly, it gives us moral lesson and how we should live our life. Yeah.
So which episode is your favorite?
Okay, my favorite is Gift Yourself.
Hey, I'm pressed. No code pressure. Wow. What did you like about her story?
Oh, she told us everything, how she went through in life, how everything went for her, what she passed through in life. And in all, I learned that we shouldn't give up in life. In whatever we do, we should put more effort, and then we should put more of it so that everything will just go through Christ, everything will just move on with grace for her.
Wow, you really listened and watched. So by kind courtesy, high sense, we have something for you to take home today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much, Gloria. So this is coming from high sense to you.
Okay.
We say thank you for watching Restoration all the time.
Thank
so what do you have to say to High Sense?
I have to say thank you to High Sense for everything you've done. I'm grateful. I appreciate it. I'm grateful.
Oh, thank you very much, Faustina. So Faustina is our winner for this week. Next week, we will come your way with another winner from Nima.
Restoration.
You're welcome back from the break, and this is our winner for this week's High Sense Super Crazy Giveaway moment. And by the time we're done with the interview, Stacy will get to pick a card. Then we'll see what she will get to take home. I'd like to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, Yas Washing Powder and Yas Sanitary Pad. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people. La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Adonko Original Hand Sanitizer, and Adonko Next Level. A big thank you to Asida Fabric for my fabric and ABS Lax Line for this beautiful outfit. To Divine Cassie for my makeup, and to Harry's Professional Hair Studio in Fadama for my hair today. Stacy, we're back. After going through all of that, mostly people say girls in the industry are not marriage material. It's an open secret. So for someone who's been through all that you've shared with us, and eventually getting married, how did that make you feel?
I mean, I've heard this thing like actresses are no wife materials, and when we're about to marry, you know, it's funny when we go to counseling, they're like, since you're an actress, so like everything was on me. So I'm like, what? Please talk to him. Me, I'm okay.
Just you're well for cry before.
Like everywhere till the wedding day, everywhere. And since you are the, even our counselor, so one time I said, please talk to him. Me, I'm okay, I'm good. So it's him. You have to, you know. And then he himself will say yes. So please,
write something.
Cancel me. So it's a good feeling. And then you hear we can't keep marriages and we can't stay in marriages. But I think that is people's opinion. And if you decide to swing along with people's opinion, then definitely you're not going to get the marriage that you desire. And then you have to keep a lot of things from the eyes of people. And I think these are some of the challenges celebrities go through, because they want I mean, when you love someone, you want the world to see that you love them. And
you show them off.
You show them off. But it should be done in, I don't know what word, wisdom. Let me use the word wisdom, because it's wisdom that directs everything. So I mean, when I heard, you know, like there are so many things I heard growing up and becoming an actress, like when you were a child of a single mother, you hear that. I needed to break that. We are actresses, I'm like, no, it shouldn't be. So when I hear all these things, I try to break it in myself. Like, no, it will not be like that. This will not be my case.
Will not be your portion.
I wouldn't pass through this. I will enjoy marriage. I will have a very good marriage. I'm not going to let what society is saying break my home. I'm going to marry a man who is a very open-minded man, who understands that if I go to work, it's work. And because I love me. And so first I need to find someone who loves me. Exactly. And then who loves himself. Exactly. I wouldn't say maybe those whose marriage broke don't love themselves or their husbands. But then, I mean, we know there are certain things. I was just saying with your makeup artist before, I said something like, you see, most people go into marriage looking for our heights, or say it's good to have preferences. But most of the things that young women don't look out for, or some of us celebrities don't look out for, is a man who will take care of your mental and your emotional health. It's very, very, very necessary, because marriage is a lifetime. Yeah. And if he's handsome, if he's tall, and he has six packs, that's not what you're going to marry.
What if something happens along the line?
Yeah, and in marriage, many things happen. So, yeah, I didn't want to buy into all those things that don't make actresses become home material or wife material. So, I feel blessed to be married to a man who cares about all this, my mental health, my emotional health, and it's there for me because in marriage, like you said, you'll be sick. You know, there will be times in the journey where you get sick. And I was very, very sick at a point in our marriage. Yeah. 2 years straight.
I was going to ask you about that. But before that, your makeup is really nice. I have to acknowledge GH Beauty Artistry. Yeah, I've been staring at you like, I love your shadows, how she's actually lined your eyes.
She
very
made
beautiful.
It with love.
Yeah, so at Dome of GH Beauty Artistry, thank you for making Stacy look this beautiful.
Thank you.
I was going to come to that. Soon after you got married, you just went quiet. Even my dear self, I wasn't hearing from you, and you were just quiet. Only for me to find out that you were not well. What really happened within that time?
I went through a lot of stuff. Some are not medically explainable, and some 2 were medically explainable, but I think the not medically explainable was more. And so when it started, I was going through a lot of like relapses. You know, I don't feel okay, I don't have my energy, my body was rejecting food, I couldn't eat. Yeah, the only thing that could go into my body was water.
Wow.
Yeah.
For how long?
2 years.
Also now, also that day.
Yeah. And you know, so I took, you know, I'm into herbalism.
Okay.
So I decided that, okay, there were things I was seeing that I didn't want to give myself to people who didn't understand what was happening. And then I was having visions of me, you know, every time they take me to the hospital, I see myself on the stretcher where I'm dead. You know, and I had prophecies that said they saw me dead. And I'm like, have you ever seen the goat tell the lion, get ready, I'm coming to eat you? He said he will give me life and he will give me life more abundantly. And God wasn't joking when he said that, because I then said, I think he said that for such a time as this in my life. And when things were really going, you know, and through it all, going through my own issues, well, people that I call friends, they didn't know what I was going through. They only saw that I was losing weight, but they didn't know I had a challenge. So they were like, oh, Stacy, you're growing lean. Like, brow, that demo and all that. And then at the end of the day, they were hurting me. So I was going through the pain of losing friends. I was going through so much. Yeah. So much that it drained me. So then when it got to a point, I realized that, look, if I don't cut this thing, I have to shut the door. I have to just shut everybody out for me. So I showed the picture of when I was sick to one of your people. I was like, wow, bro, you know, like you've been sick for like 1,000 years. But God, I said, what I saw, why Psalm 23 means so much to me is, there's this place where it says, yet though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And I realized that, okay, so that scripture was saying, yet though I walk through. So
it doesn't mean you would not.
It's
you
not,
will walk.
You will walk through. It's not a destination. Yeah. It's a walk through. So going through it, and then, you know, I had also listened to your interviews when you were not okay health-wise. So now I was speaking things, because things were happening similar. So I was like, okay, then I'll do this. You know, there was a place where you said you had a cold spell. Mm-hmm. I also had a cold spell. And then I knew that from your testimony, I knew it was my healing moment. Mm-hmm. And during those, I was so sick, but then my grandmother was also forcing to see me. So in 2021, I had to, no, 2020, I always say I didn't feel the pandemic because I was in my own pandemic. So I didn't even know what COVID was all about, because what I was going through was surpassed, because spiritual attack and health and, you know, other health issues. And I remember the day I had that cold spell, I couldn't feel my heart. The whole place here, it was like cold. So I was lying there, nobody was there. My husband was abroad, my mom wasn't around, so I was alone. And I was going through that moment, so I was like, I wasn't going to call him, I'm just going to call on God. So I lied there, and then now the cold spell started. I think I've had cold spells twice, and every time it happens, I shift to a better health. Mm-hmm. Every time it happens, I shift to a better health. So when my grandmother was like, I should come and see him before she dies. It was 114, so I went to see her. I mean, when she said I should come and see her before she died. So I took drop-in, because I didn't have the strength to be in, and you know, COVID-2 was out. I took drop-in from here, Tema, to Afram Plains. And that was quite a lot. And you know, I was going through, I wasn't working. And there were other challenges. I mean, maybe someday when my testimony, because you remember every time I tell you that when my testimony is full, I'll come to Restoration and say for the world, anybody who wants to hear my story. So I went to my grandmother, and when my grandmother prayed for me, I think I went to see her in August, and then September she passed.
Wow.
Yes. And that was when I started also becoming well. Yeah. So it was tough, and I didn't have anybody. And it was really tough in the sense that the only person who was there was my mother. But my mother too was in a state of fear because I'm her only child. So sometimes the things, because I wasn't going to the hospital, and then she would be like, why are you not going to the hospital? When you're going through this. But I know what I was seeing. But then I said, sometimes people will project their fear on you. And if you're not careful, it will take you out. You will check out. So I'm not going to allow myself for other people's fear to overshadow what the Spirit is leading me to do and what I feel. So I even had to cut going to church because people were talking about me. So I felt like, okay, anything that felt toxic, I cut it off.
Take it out.
Yeah. So for the past 2 years, I haven't been to church. But I've been with God. And God has been taking really good care of me.
What you're saying sounds very familiar. When your healing started, how did you feel?
I mean, like I said, nobody understands when your body is rejecting food. Nobody understands you have pain from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet. And I had my navel swell. So I was like in constant pain every time. But when the healing began, you know, after, like I said, the cold spells, when they come, I know that God is working on me. And then so you feel at peace here and there. You know, so you like, I remember when you know, the last time I spoke with you, you were like, who would have thought, say, when your hips and all that. Yeah. Sister, me twin in asayo. You know, like massa. And I would look at myself. And seriously, when you're going through health issues and you don't have a strong mind, you will die.
Oh, yeah.
So I thank God for helping me to develop my mind and standing on the rock that He is. And I was believing everything. Like, literally, if somebody is sick, I'll send you a quotation. And I think people don't, even some Christians don't understand. Say, I was sending me a quotation, you know, because of baby before. But this is what I would say the wordison. I call it wordison. I can stay on a scripture and I'll read it back to back like 21 times. So I even did a bead so that I will know that I've read it back to back 21 times, like Psalm 91, Psalm 31. They were one of the scriptures that brought me back to life. And then I started getting my shape back. And I'm saying, you know, so it felt good because being sick is, you don't even have to wish it for your enemies. But I realized that the wickedness of the wicked will not stop, so then the wickedness of the wicked must perish. So I also came in encounter with the word, because most of my healing journey was with the word. My mother even understand me, so she wasn't even supportive of that. But then I blocked her as well, and I had to go. Thank God my husband understood and went on that journey with me, because what I was going through, if I was your only child, you would be scared that I should go to the hospital. But I knew that moment it wasn't a hospital issue. It was more than, it was beyond that. And I feel it, I sleep, I know what I see, I know, you know. So when the healing journey started and I saw, you know, people didn't recognize me, like, because Mrs. Sigh, and then they didn't know I had body. So when they see me, they're like, they don't see me like, hey, what? And I'm like, oh, wow. But on the journey, I had an encounter with the word in Deuteronomy 7, verse 15. It says, and I will put none of the evil disease of Egypt upon you, but I will lay it upon them who hate you. That particular part also showed me that hate is not good. And then, so if I'm hating someone, then I'm going to carry, if they come, if they have an encounter with that word, then I'm going to, so I just started working on that aspect of me, because, you know, because of friends and all those things, you've gone through bitterness, you become bitter. There was a point in my life I was really bitter, you know, because I'm sick and these people don't know what I'm going through, and then they are also causing me more pain. But when I had encounter with that scripture, anything called hate, I wouldn't even bring myself to hating anyone. So it's either I'll just cut you off like you were never born. out of my sight so that I'll have my sanity. And so here I am today, to the glory of God. I feel much better. And I can only say it's all to the glory of God.
But God has been good. Say, "Man, also nine in a fool. Like, what do nice? So I'm so nine was so.
The dry bones shall live. The dry bones shall live."
Tell us, so fair. He said, God has been good.
Yes.
Then we can only be thankful to Him. Also, sometimes I always say that God does not let things happen to you if He's not got you. He's got you. There are sometimes He just needs to click on that pause knob that, Madam Tobo Kakra, take a rest. You need to reassess yourself. Sometimes there are some people He needs out of our lives.
Right.
But when ma will break, you keep those people around. And those people can be very toxic to your growth.
Extremely.
There are some people who will be around you and certain blessings will never come your way.
True.
But the moment God exits them, He allows those blessings to come. So whatever happens, you just need to be thankful. Once you have life, you have everything. Now, me the Christ one nine still flesh new, dry bones now can't nine. God has a way of just restoring everything, and when He restores you, He makes you beautiful.
It's restoration.
He makes you gracious. He makes you glorious. People say they're like, we didn't know so what was. I'm like, I've always had it, but God actually had to decrease me for you to see me at that lowest.
Yeah.
Then when He increases, you see that yes, there is God, and that is what God has done with you. So you should be thankful to Him.
Extremely.
And you know the assignments. You don't have to stop. You have to keep pushing. You have to keep giving people hope.
Yeah.
That no matter what you're going through, He's got you. The fact that He leaves, He doesn't leave. He just steps aside for a while to watch you, but He's always got you.
Yeah.
He's always got you.
True.
So now that you're here, any plans?
I'll resume. I'll be working soon with one of the film production houses very soon. I think at the end of the month. I'm making an entrance, and I believe God is going to blast it.
Oh, God will blast it.
Yeah, so that's the plan for now. I want to recover all the years that the cankerworm and the caterpillar and the locust ate. It's my time for restoration.
And you are restored.
Amen.
It's
in every dimension.
In every dimension. And you see, at this time, certain things will keep coming to you.
Yeah.
People who said no will be saying yay to you. People who did not even want to work with you would want to work with you. And that is when you also need to be smart up here.
Let me catch you a little. You know, when I was going through those moments, I was not looking really fine, and I had to send a picture. I had to do a monologue or something, short video to someone to give me an advertisement job. But when I saw the video, I knew that the person would not call me. So the person, I'm like, if he calls me, then it's a miracle. But if he doesn't call, I wasn't even really nice. And then later on, 2 years after, the person called. And now the advert is all over. But what I'm saying is, after 2 years,
what is yours never lost?
He called me himself when I was not even chasing him. And so I know, and I always say, I was encouraging someone, I said, you go through a phase in life, you come to a place of pain. It's not a destination. You will choose whether the pain should define you. But if you decide that I'm not staying at the city of pain, I'll move on to another city. I don't know what city is ahead. And then you go into maybe rejection city. It's not you are passing through all those cities, so it's just a passing through. And then when you pass through, what destination do you want to get to? And a lot of people have been trapped in themselves like that for years because they decided that the pain or the challenge that they went through is where they want to stay. I didn't choose that. And I keep saying, even where I am, I'm still looking ahead to travel to places with God on my side.
And when you go home, say a very big thank you to your husband.
Indeed.
For being there, for believing what you felt, because it's very important.
Yeah.
When people go through such stuff, you just need to listen to what they feel, because that can go a long way to sustain them to be here. So say a very big thank you to
I always say thank you to him because, indeed, I have to. You know, in marriage, when you get to that stage, we want a time. Like I was looking really tiny. I wasn't looking nice. And then this man will wake up, hello, beautiful. How are you? Like, am I really looking beautiful?
That is for better, for worse.
And I said, yes, you're looking, sure, you're looking beautiful. And so with that, I was like, my husband said I'm looking beautiful. I will be beautiful. I will look beautiful. So his words. But imagine if you're like, I don't know why and then he runs away from me. I think by now I'm there.
Oh, go.
Come on, your funeral. So yeah, indeed. Thank you very much, husband. Thank you so much.
Well, so it's time for our high sense moment. And it's time for you to pick your card. What you pick is what you get.
So I should pick?
Yeah, pick.
Hey.
Hey. Now pick it, no so now. Okay.
Should I pick this?
You've picked. I won't pick when you pick here. Thank you for coming. You take home a rice cooker.
Oh. Okay.
But you say there's what me did.
Hey, me did papa.
To be patched in the high sense.
Wow, thank you so much.
That's not all. So from Leicester, Ghana, we have these Yas products for you as well.
Yeah. This is beautiful.
BBI pad kakra, hooch cornflakes kakra, toothbrushes kakra, toothpaste kakra, BBI kakra.
Oh, Mawuse, this is nice.
Stacy, thank you so much. I know that your story has inspired someone. I know there is someone on a sickbed who's listened to this testimony and the person has hope that it be. So thank you very much for coming. A big thank you going out to the people who make sure that we are able to bring you these amazing soul-lifting stories. High Sense, everyday prizes for everyday people. Yas washing powder and Yas sanitary pad. Hooch corn and choco flakes. La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Adonko Original Hand Sanitizer and Adonko Next Level. We're saying a very big thank you to you. To Aseda Fabric at Mokola Shopping Mall. Thank you very much for my fabric. To ABS Lux Line for my outfit. Divine Cassie for my makeup. Harry's Professional Hair Studio in Fadama for my hair. Thank you very much, Harriet. To M-Clan Media Production. Thank you so much to Brian Phil Studios. You guys are simply amazing. A very big thank you also going out to Zesuza Catering Services for always ensuring my team and I are refreshed every time we're here on location. This has been Stacy's story. Next week, we are sure to come your way with another story that will lift you and give you reasons to live. Always do remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. We'll see you next week.